cars. What is going on, everybody? I'm Alex Hunter, this is HP Builds, and welcome back to the channel. Now obviously, last video was all about flipping a go-kart, and today's video has a little bit of that, but we're going to be doing some work to Luci and to the new Mustang. We've got struts to put on Luci, and we've got big brake kit to put on the red car. But before we get started, I've got to get something out here by the road. And I'll tell you what, it's not as big as the last go-kart, but it is a go-kart. Check this thing out. Now, like I said, it is a little bit smaller, obviously, but it is only smaller in the overall frame size. And what I mean by that is the other go-kart had a 250cc engine in it. This one has 196. This little thing moves on. I mean, you come across this driveway and you hit the main hump, yeah, your head is now up here. I mean, it is a rocket ship of a little go-kart. So before I put it on the road, I've got a couple things I need to take care of. One is getting this thing clean. It has a lot of dirt in the cracks and crevices. So my plan is I'm just gonna foam cannon this thing and throw it out by the road and put a price on it and see how fast it sells. Because the last one, it took just like a few hours and I already had people wanting to show up and buy it. So now it's time to see if we can do it for a second time. So let's get this thing washed, get it out by the road, and then get into doing some race car stuff, because that's where the fun is, right? And just like that, it's up for sale. Now, how about we get into working on some cars? It's been a while since we've done that, and get ready for a 3-day weekend of racing next weekend. All right, guys, so to start today off, we obviously are gonna be putting some struts on Luci here. And the reason being is she's on Coney Oranges right now, and they've been on for about 9 years or so. And that is a lot of autocross in there, a lot of highway miles on there when I was driving it on the street. And in the past few months, I've started to notice the passenger front, every single time we come back from an autocross event, the inside of the wheel is soaked in oil where the seals are all but gone. So we went ahead and upgraded to Coney Yellows. That way we could do some adjustment on the fly and get prepared for each individual track surface that we're at. And I'll tell you, compared to most people and most cars that you see online, I think this is going to be a relatively easy install, because one, I've done it before, and two, this car allows you to take the top hat and disconnect it from the strut with weight on the car. What that allows you to do is you are able to pick this car up with the quick jacks and slowly expand that spring. And then by the time it gets to this height, well, there's no force on the spring and everything's very loose. You unbolt a couple things and you pull it away. So should be very, very simple. I'm hoping we don't get up there and find any surprises. But yeah, 9 years in the making, we are finally at Coney Yellows. So let's get to putting these things on. Well, I don't know about you, but that sure ain't orange. We've got Tony Yellows on this thing. Tell you what though, we did hit a few snags. First snag of the day was the top of the strut. Of course, has the nut connecting to the rod going in and out of the shock. And that nut, I only had one, and I obviously need two. So somewhere in shipping, we lost a nut. But other than that, our brake line bracket, that hole there was a little undersized, as well as the hole for the anti-roll bar. So took a drill bit, knocked them out, made them a little bigger. But as you can see, it didn't take too long. If I didn't have to run to Ace Hardware and grab the hardware, and I didn't have to drill those two holes out, this really would have been about a 30-minute job. But of course, doing the trips and the runaround, that made it about an hour-and-a-half job. So anyways, let's get over to the other side. Let's knock that side out. Let's get this thing on the ground. And I'll check back in with you guys when we are putting this thing on the trailer, because now it's gonna need an alignment. All right guys, so as I'm moving stuff to the other side of the car, I thought about something, and I looked back and realized what I did. Didn't put the cover on the shock. That's what you get when you don't have what you need and you gotta go get it. Your brain gets tied up in something else, and you come back in here and you try to rush, and it bites you in the end. So moral of this story is I should have come in here and slowed way down when I got back to Ace Hardware. But anyways, now I gotta do this whole process again, pretty much, just to get this on there. Yay me. Check back in with you guys when this job is done. Fun times. Well guys, car's back on the ground. All that's left to do now is go get the trailer, put this thing on the trailer, and get it to an alignment shop. And then this car is ready to roll. So next Saturday and next Sunday, this car will be doing autocross for Tennessee Region on Saturday and Kentucky Region on Sunday, both at NCM. So we're only maybe an hour or two at an alignment shop away from putting some laps down and hopefully bringing home 2 W's next weekend. Now I know what you're thinking. At the beginning of this video, I said we were going to be working on both cars. And so far, we've just worked on Luci. And I'll be honest with you, with the few time killers that we had today, with having to run into town, getting some hardware, ended up having a battery go dead on my cordless drill, so I had to sit here and just twiddle my thumbs and wait on it. But it killed all the time today, and that leaves just Luci getting worked on in today's video. But before we leave, I'm gonna show you guys what we're dealing with on the other car that we'll be working on throughout this week, and I really only think it's gonna be a couple of nights. Check this out. All right, so if you remember, we have a big brake kit on Luci, which puts the 4-piston Brembo style brakes on. Well, we are doing the exact same thing to the new car. So we have some Hawk HP Plus pads that we're gonna put with this combo. We've got some single plane, non-slotted, non-drilled rotors to go on the car. And then we're gonna put some high temp brake fluid in it. And then it's gonna be ready to go. So as we've been racing and hitting all these tracks, the brakes on that car just are not enough for the amount of speed you can gain in the straights. So one thing I've wanted to do since the day we bought the new car was put this setup on it. So that's gonna be this week. And then Friday, like I said, Saturday and Sunday we're racing Luci. Friday, we're going to Road Atlanta down in Atlanta, Georgia, to do a track night in America with them, get an hour of track time on the car down there. Then we obviously have to truck all the way home, pick up Luci, and be at the track in Bowling Green the next morning. Then we're gonna leave everything there, and then we'll come back on Sunday and hit it again. So very busy weekend next weekend, but the next video will be putting the GT500 brakes on this car, or on the new car I should say, because A lot of people try to do this setup and they go into extreme difficulty trying to find some videos of it. And I want to just make a quick, simple 5+ minute video of a how-to. So if you guys truly watch the channel, that video may not be for you guys, but we're gonna go ahead, get the big brake set up on that car, and then get down to Road Atlanta, then to NCM, then to NCM. And by the way, I did order those tires for the new car.